Hey everybody, welcome back. It's late in the afternoon, but it's been a long work week. I need a little diesel therapy, so I thought I'd come down here and run the excavator for a little while before it gets dark. This is where I finished the last video with these roads finished up, made it to the farm. I come over here one evening and started on this a little bit. I'm gonna clean out all down the side of this ditch and then clean the ditch. I'm just throwing some of the smaller stuff over to the side. I might put the brush cutter on there and just chip that stuff up when I'm done, but pretty good ways down there. I'll get the drone out one day and run through there so y'all can kind of see more about what I'm doing, but anyway, we're going to just run until it gets dark, I think. Have a little fun. I didn't really want to take a whole bunch of trees out of here, but I want to get a road around this place so we can ride around. We can ride around every other edge of the property. Except for this spot here. We've never had a road put in. Or never put one in, I should say. This ditch was dug probably before my time. It was actually dug by the property owner next to me here, and so all the dirt is on this side, so there's banks of dirt in here. I crawled through here when I first got this excavator into last year. I came through here with the brush cutter and just cleared a trail, and some of it was pretty thick, but I was able to climb across with all these dirt piles and stuff and kind of poke my way through. Some of it's pretty straight. There's a few spots where I had to go around some stuff, or it was easier to go around some stuff for now, because I knew I was gonna come back and do this. So we'll have to take a few trees out here and there, but in the end, I think it'll be worth it. Whoops, that's what you're not supposed to do. Be a lot of mess on that side. Hopefully it'll chip up with that brush cutter. I know y'all hadn't gotten to see that yet, but when I get done with this or some free time, pull it out. There's always stuff to work on, ditch banks or limbs or something. We'll get that on here.
before I get started back, I thought we'd throw the drone up in the air and give you all a little better idea of what we're working on here. So that smaller timber you see toward the right, that's the 35-acre tract that we're trying to get a road around. The timber on our left, part of that has been logged recently, so as we get about halfway down, you'll notice it's really thin. There's just some line trees, but the property line's not perfectly straight. But if you look down at the far end, you see those tall pines. That is where we're headed. There's a usable road on that end. You can drive a vehicle down it. You may get it scratched, but you can drive a vehicle down it. So that is where we're going, and we'll clean that one up on the way out.
All right, guys, we're back down here on the road project. I don't know, whatever. We'll call it phase 2. How about that? Anyway, so I got the grapple. So I put the grapple on the tractor and did a little bush hogging this morning. Thought I'd come down here and maybe try to plow through a little bit of this stuff just to see if I can rake through, and some of that root mat and stuff. It's probably just going to be a bunch of dirt. I'm going to try to do that. So I'm going to play with it for a few minutes and see if I can make any headway. Otherwise, just get on the excavator and get back to work. All right, guys. I've been back here several hours. I don't know, about 3 hours, 3, 4. I don't know. I don't keep track of time. I've been back here a little while, and I'll show you how far I've gotten here. But last few minutes I've been exploring in these woods over here a little bit, trying not to tear up anything, but not very good. But anyway, there's a ditch that ties into that first field over there, and I'm trying to find it in all these briars. I think I'm close, but I'm gonna plow rake through this what I've got done on the way out here, and when I come back, I think I'm just gonna take the excavator up in there and clear me a path and figure out exactly where I need to be before I tear up something plowing through here with the tractor. So set y'all up right here. I'm plowing out of here and maybe go get us some lunch. It'll take a lot of work to get this road in usable shape, and I'm not looking for a road for a vehicle. I'm just looking for a road for a side-by-side, a tractor, stuff like that. So see that okay? It's not bad for a couple hours work. We got some cleanup to do, but that's probably maybe a quarter of the way. Maybe. Still got a lot of work to do. Anyway, been a long day. I hadn't really eaten anything. It's time to get some grub. Alright, well I decided to come back down here and run a few more hours this afternoon. It's way too hot to do anything else. And I was gonna go fishing looking for that ditch in the woods over there, but I think I don't want to take out any trees unnecessarily. So I think I'm just gonna wait. I'll come in from the other side, follow the ditch, and then I'll know exactly where I'm at and where I need to be. I'm gonna tie that. I think that ditch, I think the fall of the dirt, it just kind of runs out in the woods there. I think that's what I'm gonna find. But I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Anyway, I was going to try to tie that ditch into here, but I have no idea until I set up the laser and see what kind of fall we're dealing with. Not sure exactly what I'm going to be able to do there just yet. So just go ahead and put this road in like we planned, and then we'll do that next. running all the way across there. Ain't no shortage of roots out here, that's for sure. Ozzy's down there in that ditch looking for water, but we done drained all that. I brought him a 5-gallon bucket with some clean water in it, so he's already found it, so he's good to go. I left him at the house this morning when I come out here because I came on the tractor. My wife said he was driving her crazy, trying to get out the house and trying to find me, I guess. In and out. I sped that thumb up a little bit, but I believe it might need a little more. Probably the most I've used that since I had it. Oops. Well, Mozzie found him some water somewhere. He is nasty. Must have found the hole in that ditch. There's some holes in there where we got wild hogs from time to time, and see holes where they bed down in there. He probably found one of them. It's a little more aggressive than I wanted it to be. not meaning to hit that horn button. I don't know why I keep doing that today. Muzzy thinks I'm trying to call him back. Nothing but a bunch of root mat there. All that mess, vines and briars. Somewhere down here we get to where I was able to stay right on the side of the ditch. It had just gotten so thick here whenever I was doing that initial pass. I decided to wait until I come back with the excavator with the bucket, because some of those trees were just too big to take out with that brush cutter. It'll take out about a 4-inch tree, but it seemed like a lot of unnecessary wear and tear. I knew I was going to come through here with this anyways. Missed a stump right there, or a big old root. Let's see what that looks like before we go too far. That's the remains of that old stump we picked up a while ago. I think that's all that is. Yeah. Okay. We can leave that. That'll be just fine. Ozzy done found him a deer antler. What you got, Moz? What'd you find? Get you a new toy? Just don't leave that where it'll get one of my tires, okay? I'm not sure what it'll do to a track, but I know what it'll do to a tire. Well, I believe that's about all we're going to get today. I appreciate y'all watching. Please like, subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Bye.